think about digital transformation within our company, we're working on it in a variety of areas, but honing in specifically on Zycus, what we've seen is that Zycus has actually become an enabler for us for sales and account retention. So we're really going very far on the procurement, specifically on the procurement discipline, but into other areas of the business. So looking at it a little bit more specifically, when we built our business case for Zycus, which was back in about 2017, we had direct feedback from the market that we were essentially losing business in competitive bids or failing to retain business because of our supplier costs. In our world, much of our service is delivered through end suppliers in about 190 countries. And so those costs are direct pass-throughs to clients. So it became critical to us to really look at those supplier costs as a tool to retaining and growing our business. When we implemented Zycus, what we found is we were able to cut our sourcing cycle time by about 50% and actually cut the labor hours used for a sourcing exercise by about 70%. So essentially, we then really accelerated our sourcing exercises. We conducted quite a lot more sourcing exercises, and along with that, then we achieved some really nice cost savings through the e-auction module, which we haven't historically been using. We were operating with a pretty archaic model historically prior to 2017. End result, we're running at about 98% client retention now in our account management groups. And our sales team is actually experiencing some of the highest sales growth trajectory that they've ever seen. And we truly believe that the transformation we did in the supply chain and procurement realm was a big driver for that, up to and including the point now that typically we have people from our team directly involved in every sales pursuit, talking to clients about how they control costs. And the tools we use include Zycus to make sure that we deliver.
Wow, that's a selling point that my team doesn't often think of. I'll remember that one. Next question is for Obi. Turning to you, how has Belden leveraged Zycus's source-to-pay solution in your procurement processes, and could you share some insights on the efficiencies and savings achieved through that?
Thank you. Just want to start off. Anybody in here know the company Belden? You guys ever heard of Belden before? So Belden is, we're actually as a company transforming as well. So it's not just on the procurement side, but actually our customer facing, selling actual networking solutions as opposed to just products of wire and cable that we've historically sold. So we have this overarching, right from our senior leadership right down through our entire organization of a transformation is a way of we do business, not just with our customers, but internally as well. But specifically to Zycus, we've been partners, and I don't like to say customer, because our relationship with Zycus has been more of not just transactional. It's been helping us change our way we actually operate, and we've been with Zycus since 2016, 2017, but we still continue. In November, we did a new implementation in Germany. So we operate in about 60 countries, 80 to 90 locations, various different business units, very complex. We have, I think, almost 20 different ERP systems across those locations. So that's always a challenge as well. But I think, specifically to Zycus, we use it primarily for e-procurement, our supplier management, sourcing, but the big efficiencies that we've gained are on our requisition appeal process. I think previously, we were the old archaic model of they used to be called green sheets, where you fill it out, it goes to somebody's desk, it's got to get signed, whatever. So it was probably like a 5 to 7 day process just to try and order something. Through the e-procurement solution with Zycus, we're averaging around a day and a half from requisition all the way through the approval workflows, making sure we have the right approval workflows so we don't have any audit issues. So that's all built in within our procurement model. I think the other part of it is on the category management side of things, obviously working in so many different ERP systems, it's hard to get visibility to all the spend that's happening or an aggregated spend. If you're trying to negotiate with a supplier, you gotta go to so many different systems and say, okay, how much business do we actually do with this company? So even though we don't have all of our ERP systems using Zycus at this point, we do actually take quarterly information, the data from our ERP systems and load it into the iAnalyze module. That helps us for all the companies that are not in Zycus at this point. We can still run reports and analyze the data. Obviously, it's not as detailed as the stuff that's coming right out of Zycus from a line item detail, but it gives us really good information as far as getting leverage from a negotiation and really trying to drive the savings with this.
John, considering future innovations, how do you believe Gen AI solutions like Merlin Assist will influence digital transformation in procurement and service? And if you could throw in any use cases that you see that would benefit from such types of solutions. Well,
Thanks. We have more work to do in this space. Actually, we're still kind of trying to figure out, what is the art of the possible as it relates to Gen AI. Actually, I just had a meeting with the Zycus team about an hour ago and talked through a number of different scenarios. But a couple of things have already come to mind that we're really excited to start diving into. Specifically, the new enhancements that have been made in terms of the supplier help function within Zycus, we think is going to help us a great deal. Our team tends to run really lean. We're a private equity-owned company, and we don't have a lot of resources. And so our business owner for Zycus within our own organization also fulfills a number of different roles. He does a lot of the strategy behind our sourcing roadmap, our risk assessment, our ESG practices, and other things. What we found historically is when suppliers need help with Zycus, even if they go to a category manager or somebody else initially, kind of tends to default to him as the help desk. And we're really looking forward to getting him out of that role and getting him fully focused on actually taking us forward in more meaningful ways. So we think that iSupplier help functionality is really going to make a big difference with suppliers understanding better how to register in the system, what their capabilities that we're able to do in the system, and hopefully relying on our team that we've been investing in that historically. Another area that we're really focused on and we're excited about is the enhanced auto scoring feature in iSource. I mentioned some of the progress we've made in the sourcing realm, and one of the key wins for us was the fact that typically about 80% of any of our RFPs are auto scored at this point. And we typically do multiple rounds in an RFP where we do a written sourcing exercise and then presentations, in-person meetings, sometimes some case study scenarios. But that upfront piece, we typically cast the net pretty wide and invite a broad range of suppliers in. And having that auto scoring feature has been really helpful. But that 20% that we're not auto scoring today can still be really time consuming. Again, we're in a people-based business where we're talking about scenarios and different things that could happen. And so the verbatim responses to some of the RFP questions tend to be quite long, and a lot of times suppliers kind of want to throw in every fact or piece of data about their organization they can, whether it's really relevant to the question or not. And so what we're looking forward to with the new auto scoring enhancements are that essentially with the system being able to review all the responses and give recommended scores rather than our team having to do all of that work manually, we think is going to be a great enhancement for us as we go forward. Again, we're really only looking at a couple areas right now. We know there's a lot more we need to explore, and we're looking forward to seeing where else we can take this. But even right off the bat, without a lot of deep study into the area so far, we're already seeing some key advantages for us.
Okay. That's great, thanks. Opie, you too have been implemented on our suite for a very long time. Looking to the future at Belden too, for Merlin Assist and any other Gen AI capabilities. How do you see those things shaping the future of procurement strategies at Belden?
Well, I can't predict the future, otherwise I wouldn't be sitting up here. But I think we can all probably say, either yourselves or somebody on your team, when you do your annual reviews or whatever, be like, I wish I had more time to do strategic initiatives as opposed to some of the administrative or tedious tasks. I think from our standpoint, that's where we kind of see our step into Gen AI is and Merlin Assist to try and help us with those mundane tasks of responding to emails or having data that you need to make a decision kind of in the moment. I have the lucky opportunity to kind of have a direct access to our C-suite through our CFO and our CEO. So whenever they come to me for, hey, we have this experience, or we're looking to do this, or we saw this at a different company, how can we implement this here? I don't have weeks to try and figure out something and try and respond back. So it's really about, I guess, getting real-time information and being able to support the leadership to try and drive change within the company. I think the other part is really taking the analytics, enabling analytics, and being able to take the data and really make a sound decision. I think we can probably, again, I'll go back and say, okay, hey, I made a decision based on the information I had at that particular time, and then you can look back and say, damn, made a mistake, or if I had that other additional piece of information, that would have made a different decision. So that's kind of where we see Belden sees using Merlin Assist and Gen AI to help us really reduce the day-to-day mundane tasks and really have the right information at the right time to make sound decisions.
Yeah, thank you. Anders, clearly Gen AI is disrupting procurement quite significantly. Whether it's deployed in our suite or independently. What kind of strategies do you recommend for managing the kind of change disruption in the organization, considering culture change?
Yeah, no, 100%. Now, the first thing is, like with every technology, there's some kind of an adoption life cycle curve, if you will. So my thought is, well, you should have a Gen AI strategy, but not everything can be about Gen AI because the tech is used to AI. So understand the capabilities in your tool that can be provided, and then it needs to be use case based. Going back to what specifically are you trying to optimize? So when you think about Gen AI, the main thing is to assist an interaction with a tool. And so in the procurement space, I mean, that's one of the spaces we find really true applicability. So start by looking at use cases, and I think on the suite provides some examples. Whether it's an in-source, so that a sourcing events support, so that you can create an RFP, or whether it's about analyzing through a closed library and a language model, kind of what to speed up a review of a contract, or to be able to get quicker to a resolution of an issue, or whether it is to present an interface to your suppliers, whether they can interact with you and provide invoices and how to put that. So it's what's that use case and where's that going in the roadmap. The point of data is important. People seem to forget that Gen AI at the end of the day is based on that huge amount of data and to have that in place. So Gen AI is not something that's plug and play, that's completely isolated. There's two key components: the data that you're basing that on, and number two, the language model that you're bringing in. So therefore, thinking about your master data strategy is also very critical to make sure the vendor, whether it's your templates from a legal standpoint and how they're coming. And then thinking about also an ROI. I mean, ultimately, you do need to provide that to your leadership in terms of, well, what are my use cases, where am I saving? And then that ROI is not only in terms of cost, but also some performance indicators. So how many sourcing events am I able to run this year with my current team? Now, if I use Gen AI, to what extent am I speeding up the process so that I can do more of that? And also the qualitative part of how can I also improve the process when I'm reviewing libraries in process in terms of contracts. So those are the key items. We definitely see a lot of movement. I think, again, this is one of the spaces where Gen AI really is taking a hold. Most of my clients are thinking about that. I think Merlin is a suite that definitely is making a significant impact. So we're very proud of what we're seeing there as we work with the Zycus team. And yeah, I think there's a lot more things to come.